Okay, today's video we're going to cover using Unbounce for landing pages versus Hubspot. There's definite pros and cons and differences between these two. If you're thinking that Unbounce is basically, well, why the hell do I need it? Unbounce has a landing page tool in there. For the most part, what Unbounce charges you to even do the landing pages is not that much different than what Unbounce charges at the end of the day. Excuse me, end of the day. Yes, it's twice as expensive as I'm going to cover here, but it's way more than twice the value and benefits out of it. There's some hidden things here that you're just not going to simply know until you're ass deep into this process already and it's too late to back out. The key thing that I've mentioned on this channel several times, and I had to learn the hard way myself, and you don't know until you've been in business for a while and you do a lot of stuff online. Software that promises to do everything for you. There's CRMs that tried to get in to make their software more sellable, whether that's Salesforce, Zoho, HubSpot, and the like. They market their software as, oh, it's an all-in-one software. You could do landing pages, you could do your accounting, you could do your content marketing, you could do everything within this one software, and makes it easy, and it all kind of works together and integrates together automatically. And the reality is, software that does it all does no individual part of it well, or at least as well as standalone specialized software. If it did, there would be no fucking other specialized software companies. They would all just go out of business. Poof, gone. You know, HubSpot put them all out of business, and that's not the reality. So they get a lot of people who don't understand the drawbacks of using a all-in-one solution versus a CRM to do what CRMs do best, and then integrate other specialized software with the CRM itself, which is the way that I do it and the way that you should do it too, and I'm going to explain why. So with that said, I will though also go over the different pros and cons of Unbounce versus HubSpot. At the end of the day, tell you why basically you want to use both of them together to get, by and large, the most results out of your ad campaigns, because obviously the whole point of landing pages is to make money from ad campaigns or traffic you're driving into landing pages. You want to make the most money with your landing pages, you use both of these softwares together, or just Unbounce if you don't want to use a CRM. But at the very least, if you're using HubSpot, you use Unbounce with HubSpot. They both work together well, but just trying to eliminate Unbounce because you think, oh, I want to save a little bit of money here, you're going to kick your own ass doing this. And like I said, I'm going to explain why. So anyway, with that said, I use Unbounce for landing pages because it is basically, and I'm not simping for Unbounce here. This is legit, and I don't get paid by Unbounce or anything, but Unbounce is the best, most reliable, and easy software to use for landing pages. This is why I use it for all our clients' accounts. And I've set up hundreds of landing pages for hundreds of different companies at this stage using Unbounce by itself, because I've tried them all. I tried lead pages, I tried ClickFunnels, I tried, I can't even remember some of the others out there still to this day. But I've seen a lot of them as well, because clients usually have things sometimes set up in their own platforms as they bring those on to clients. I've seen the pros and cons of all of them. Unbounce is by and large, by far, the best program for landing pages because it's easy to and reliable, easy to use and reliable. You can do almost anything you need with it. So, which are very important things, because, and which you don't really realize if you haven't made landing pages before, because you don't understand how frustrating, we'll say, it can be to do certain things in terms of setting those landing pages up, and then furthermore integrating the landing page with the rest of everything else you got in your business. So, well, HubSpot by itself is a great software for used as a CRM. You can't beat software though, still, that's specialized for something by itself, that it's designed to do, and it's the best in its category. So of the landing page softwares, Unbounce beats everything else, like I told you. You could take it from me. I've managed 500 plus campaigns before in the past for clients. I've seen everything that people have been using. I've been messing around with them for a long time. Unbounce is the best. And then Unbounce, compared to trying to use HubSpot, it's not even a comparison. Unbounce kicks HubSpot's ass every time, and I'm going to explain why. And because it should just naturally make sense to you. As it comes to, like, even in our pay-per-click management industry or space, everybody knows, everybody wants somebody who's worked in their industry before. If I've worked in the HVAC industry, somebody in the HVAC industry is going to be wanting to hire me, by and large, over some other generalized PPC management firm because I've got industry experience. Even if I told that person, by the way, that I guarantee results and I've worked on hundreds and hundreds of campaigns and what you're doing is not that much different than everything else, they still want the guy who's worked on HVAC campaigns before. That's just how it is. All like services are pretty much the same. People want specialists, not generalists. As it comes to software though, people somehow get lost in the haze of all these software companies bullshit. Specialized companies could do individual things and make individual tools that are meant to fix individual problems far better than a small little wing at a much bigger company, bigger software company, could do fixing that problem. They just through pure brute force and money made the tool that's supposed to fix that problem better. They spent more time, money, and effort doing it. And so, because that's their bread and butter. So the fact that you could think HubSpot, even though they're a huge company, has their little landing page division, if you want to call it that, has spent more time and effort than Unbounce, which is basically the biggest one in the landing page space, effectively. Making a landing page tool, you're crazy. And landing pages are not as simple as you think. That's the key point of all this. Yeah, you may think it's simple at its surface, and it may be, but when you get actually into doing it, you say, I need to do X, Y, Z. Oh shit, I can't do X, Y, Z because the software doesn't do it. Oh shit, I've already made my landing page. It's too late to go switch to Unbounce now. That's what I'm trying to help you prevent before you get started thinking, oh, I'm going to save $50 a month having all my landing pages inside HubSpot instead of using Unbounce. So with that said, though, to put all that in a frame of reference, we'll go through what the specific pros and cons so you can understand the technical differences between these two are. Starting with Unbounce, on the pros side, it's easy to use. I could say easy to use, intuitive to use, because people that are, if you're a business owner trying to do this for yourself especially, you don't want to be struggling to make a page. The interface in Unbounce in order to make a page is very, very, very intuitive. It's almost just like using an iPhone. Versus the HubSpot's interface to make a landing page, the drag and drop interface that they do have, that Unbounce has, that HubSpot's trying to mimic, it's not nearly as intuitive. You're going to waste a ton of time figuring it out. And the time that it takes for you to figure out to do what you want to do, I could tell you right now, you're not going to be worried about that $50 a month that you're going to be paying more perpetually in the future, just from the time you're going to waste to learn how to do what Unbounce you could basically learn how to do. There is no learning curve. You go in there, it's intuitive, it's obvious what to do right from the start with no training. And then furthermore, I'll add to that, by the way, the documentation that Unbounce has on each thing that you would want to do is beautiful. You just go into Google, type what you need. There's an article that shows you just how to do it. Basically on everything. And by the way, their customer service is much better for figuring out what you want to do, talking through to Unbounce support versus Hubspot support if you want to add to that. Anyway, moving forward, quick to use. So basically, the time or speed that even if you know how to use the system, the speed in which you can get things done in HubSpot is easier. It's just easier to get things done. No programming. So respectively, to do everything you want to do with your landing page, it's not going to take editing the HTML because Unbounce has more point and click features that HubSpot's landing page tool has. So whereas you have to add some HTML code and mess around more with the HTML code on HubSpot to do things such as having a pop-up on your screen, Unbounce has it as a default native feature that you can set up in 2 seconds. You could do almost anything, respectively, as making a landing page. Anything that you could think of that you're going to want to do with a landing page, you're going to be able to do with Unbounce, whereas it's questionable at HubSpot. It's limited in what you can do in comparison. And then lastly here, in terms of the pros for Unbounce, lots of different integrations. So it integrates with basically all the main softwares you could think of. Anything that's even remotely big. They have like 1,000 integrations that they have, including HubSpot itself. So there's no need to think, well, I like it on HubSpot. If you were originally thinking, well, I want it all together so that the leads coming into HubSpot stay in HubSpot, that's baloney, because you can do the HubSpot to Unbounce integration that Unbounce has. It takes you 5 minutes to do, and all the leads that come through your Unbounce landing pages goes directly to Unbounce, so there effectively is no advantage, at least in that regard, of having your landing pages on HubSpot's system in terms of having the leads automatically be injected into HubSpot so they can be handled and managed there. So that's pretty much for the pros there. I could go on, but kept it simple. Cons, more expensive is the main thing. Unbounce now is $100 a month. For most people, they look at that, they're like, I don't want to pay $100 a month just to host my landing pages. But Unbounce is now, because they saw how much Unbounce and lead pages and all this is charging, so they decided to charge $50 a month just to be able to do the landing pages. So it's not that big of a difference at the end of the day. Yes, it's still double, but I'm telling you the amount of time and effort you're going to waste managing it, it's going to be worth that extra $50 a month. HubSpot. Starting with the pros. Integrates with different ad platforms. So what I mean by this is if you're doing lead generation in your business, you have to do a 2-step sale where you have to generate a phone call or generate a contact form fill, and then you have to talk to the person, then they buy. In other words, they don't go just use your cart on your website and buy that way. You want offline conversion tracking set up for your accounts, for your Google Ads account, for your Facebook Ads account, for your whatever you're using. Why? Because to optimize your ad campaigns based upon what leads are the cheapest to produce, you're not going to get 1/3 of the results that you're going to get if you were able to optimize your campaigns on what's driving sales and profit. With offline conversion tracking, which you could watch my other videos about this if you're curious, but basically working with having a CRM, or you could do it without a CRM too. When a lead turns into a sale, you could post that information back to Google, post that information back to Facebook that a sale occurred, how much the sale transaction size was, and then you could see what campaigns, what ads, what keywords, what time of the day, what day of the week, and so forth the sales came in at, and then what the ROI is for each one of those individual levels, so that you can optimize your ads to get more profit versus a cheaper and cheaper phone call cost, given the cheapest phone calls won't be the highest quality phone calls. Those two are not correlated. And with all that said, a lot of people that are have a semi-bigger operation, they're going to use a CRM to manage their leads, right? HubSpot being one of them. you can have there's a direct integration with HubSpot that will directly integrate with Google and Facebook at least, so that when you click deal 1 inside HubSpot, that information gets posted automatically back to Google, back to Facebook, so you can see a sale occurred in your account where it came from specifically. Versus if you use another smaller CRM, let's say, which a lot of them have integrations too, but it's more, you could integrate it too, but it's more, takes extra steps. You would have to work harder to get that information back to your ad account. That's going to triple the profit you're going to make from your ads long term. So the sales data goes directly into your ad account automatically, assuming that you guys are managing your leads and marketing them like deal 1 like you're supposed to. In that, Google, Facebook gets the sales data. They right away see a sale occurred. Now they can make, their algorithm that runs the ads can make an adjustment on what they're doing to get you more of that just got you the sale. So effectively, it automatically makes you more profit automatically when you have this integration piping in the sales data the way that you want. So the integrations are easy versus other platforms. You're going to have to use something like Zapier to integrate the two, or upload a spreadsheet to Google and Facebook manually to upload your sales, which is a pain in the ass to do. So the integrations are good. Respectively though, even if you use the Hubspot to Unbounce integration, you could pass that information that you need to HubSpot, and then when you mark deal 1, that sale notification of sale could get passed to Google Ads, Facebook Ads. So there's no drawback to doing the integration and still using Unbounce, by the way, for that, to track your offline sales. Anyway, no extra cost is the other main thing here. So if you do, like I said, if you do the landing pages on HubSpot, you don't have to pay for this outside software, i.e. Unbounce, to do landing pages. You still have to pay something, but it's not $100 a month. So that's the main benefit and reason why. So there's two main reasons why people want to use HubSpot, where clients come to me and say, instead of using Unbounce, clients will say, well, instead of using Unbounce, can we just do the landing pages in HubSpot? And they're doing it for two reasons. They want to save the extra $50 a month because it's cheaper. There's no Unbounce cost then. And they think the leads will be easier to manage given that the leads are going directly into HubSpot. And like I said, yes, it is a little bit more expensive, but as far as the leads going directly into HubSpot, with the integration that Unbounce has with HubSpot, there's no advantage there and no benefit whether you use Unbounce there or not. So anyway, with that said, what are the cons of HubSpot? So like I already mentioned a couple times on this video, it's not nearly as easy to use or intuitive. You're going to spend a lot more time figuring out how to use it, and until you've used it a long time, it's not going to be intuitive for you to use. Then the other con being here for HubSpot is it's limited in doing special features. So if you want to do a pop-up or a click where it auto scrolls down to a certain section of the screen, or you want to do what they call a hello bar, where at the top of your landing page you've got something at the very, very top inch of the screen. This is all stuff that's easy to do at Unbounce, and HubSpot either can't do it or it's extremely difficult to do it. And these features are good features that increase conversion rates on your landing pages, so you want to use it. So you may not think about that. This is what I was talking about before. I wanted to educate you so that before you get your knees deep into this thing, you know what the true value is doing one versus the other, and what you're losing potentially doing one versus the other. So not being able to do a pop-up, which is nice because instead of having the full form on your screen, you could have a button that says contact us, click it, and then there's a pop-up. That's really useful to use on a lot of designs to save room, and then just to have a good, for what design you come up with, have the option of doing that, because having the full form on the site, on that landing page, would mess with the flow of the page, the eye flow, which is basically when you have a landing page, there's certain things that people should see, and there's a certain order you want them to see in, and they're like, they look at the logo first, then they're supposed to look at the headline, then they look at this image here, then they read this text here, and if you use the full form, sometimes it's going to screw with your eye flow on your page. Good landing page designers that actually know how to design and get conversions, because that's the part where everybody gets screwed in terms of landing page design. Yeah, anybody could design a damn landing page. Only a few people can understand how to make landing pages convert at a super high rate that are highly profitable. So somebody that's doing design likes... Good designers who actually know what they're doing like the options to do some of these things. When you force them onto a platform that doesn't have all the options, you're basically tying one hand behind their back, trying to get you the results that you ultimately want out of all this, what the point of all this is. So anyway, that's a summary of the differences between HubSpot and Unbounce. Again, use HubSpot. It's a great software, but just don't do it without Unbounce if you expect to make the most money from your ad campaigns, because you can do a lot more with Unbounce. Style-wise, it takes less time to do it and is quicker to do what you want to do. So don't skimp on the landing pages to try to save money and make more money on your ad campaigns. That extra $50 a month, that you're making that back at least times 10, because you got the power of Unbounce in your hand versus HubSpot by itself for landing pages. Unless you're spending $10 a month on advertising, then maybe that's not the case. You're spending over $1,000 a month on advertising, you don't have Unbounce, you're kicking your own ass here, basically. At the end of the day, just to sum it up in one simple statement. So anyway, with that said, I'll wrap it up with that. Hopefully you enjoyed this video. If you liked the video, I'd appreciate it if you would give it a like and consider subscribing, as I have a ton of other content on this channel where I share the strategies that make money on Google ads, Facebook ads, Bing ads, /Microsoft ads, and so forth, that I collect managing about 50 different clients' campaigns here at my advertising agency on an ongoing basis, and in which we have to guarantee results on our clients' campaigns before we get paid. So the stuff that we know gets results every time, I share with you on this channel. Therefore, it's the best information you're going to find on YouTube on practical information on how to actually make money, because it's coming from a real practitioner who really does all the strategy at our agency and works directly with the clients. I'm not a YouTuber. I'm not a guy with a couple clients. Therefore, it's invaluable information that you should use. You'll make millions of dollars with your ads if you just follow the steps on this channel, because it's all the working information. If you like the channel, I also have a blog at guaranteeppc.com/blog. You can find other great information there. If you like the channel, you'll love the blog. If you have any questions about anything I covered today, still kind of on the fence about whether to use Unbounce or not or what have you, leave me a comment below. I get back to every single person who leaves me a comment on this channel, usually within a couple days' time. If you have any other PPC questions, feel free to also leave me a comment. I'll try to put you on the right track if I can. As a last note before I wrap this video up, as I mentioned before, I run a PPC agency here where we guarantee clients results. What that really means is, it's not a trick. Whatever your sales you're getting now in your campaigns, we'll lift the amount of sales you're making on the same ad spend, or we'll maintain your ROI and lift your ad spend, therefore raising your profit before taking any fees at all. Or we'll set up a new campaign for you without taking any fees if you have the right product or service that we know that will sell well. And we do that to develop long-term relationships with the companies we work with. And if you reach out to my firm, I'll look at your stuff and see if we can work together. I don't work with just any company, but I'll look at your stuff, and if we can work together, I'll tell you how much more sales I can get you on your campaigns up front before paying anything, and then of course what we need to get paid once we get you a little bit, we get you up and going, so to say, or get you a little bit of a boost up front. So if you'd like me to look at your stuff, reach out to my firm. I'd be happy to speak with you after that and tell you how much I can raise your sales short, medium, and long term. So with that said, I'll wrap it up with that. Hopefully you enjoyed this video, and I hope to see you in my next video where we have another great strategy for you there. See you later.